Hello, everyone. I am back. Yes, the TV Ramble has returned after a 5-year disappearance. A long, complicated story. A lot of it was financial, other personal issues, but I am back now and I will be trying to make as many videos as I can. And I want to thank a very dear friend of mine who sort of kind of got me motivated to do a little more of these, just to never lose your passion and your desire of things that you like to do. And I did it this past week with another video um, talking about alcoholic beverages, and that was very exciting. And now hopefully we'll be doing more these my videos of discussing things that are, I like television and whatnot. So uh, brand new year. Again, happy new year to all of you. Wish all of you a great year and optimism and positive energy and good fortune to you out there. So let's get with the TV news. I think the big news starts with ESPN, the college football playoff. This is the first year of it, and what can you say? ESPN hit it out of the park. 28 million viewers for the Rose Bowl. 28 point, I think 3 million viewers what there was for from when I last read Thursday, and I think it's been updated since then. Not Thursday, Friday, I should say. 28.5 million viewers, I believe it was, for the Sugar Bowl, making both games the highest rated programming, 1 and 2 ever on ESPN, topping the BCS National Championship game between Auburn and Oregon, which was back in 2010, I believe that game was. And, I mean, ESPN has, it was good for college football, and I think great for the network, for more so for ESPN, as the news came out the other day that is the number one cable network. And obviously, sports has a lot to do with it, with their Monday Night Football package, as well as with the college football, all their games, their deals with the ACC, SEC, Pac-12, you name it, and of course now this year with the playoff element, and dating back to um, with the national championship game last year, which was at the Rose Bowl between Florida State and Auburn. Um, ESPN is rolling right now, so I think the ratings really showed just enormous, and I think the numbers for the championship game on Monday, January 12th, is going to probably be well over 31 million viewers. I'm predicting, and I think this, if it hasn't already, and I feel it has, going back a couple of 2 years ago, but I think now officially, this cements college football as the second most popular sport, right up there behind the National Football League. And what can you say? It was two very entertaining games. Well, the Sugar Bowl was more entertaining. The Rose was pretty much over by the middle of the third quarter, but it is the Rose Bowl, and the Rose Bowl has a lot of history, just like the Masters and the Indy 500. Those are institutions in this country. So, but even though it was pretty much well in hand that the Ducks of Oregon were going to um, pretty much they had their ticket punched for their trip to Arlington to play in the national championship game against whoever. And of course, the Sugar Bowl also went down to the wire between Ohio State and Alabama. And I was watching the game, and which that's my next topic here. For a lot of folks who are watching the game, not only on television, but also watching it online or maybe through the Watch ESPN app, of course, there was a sort of power outage or maybe some technical issue that the Florida State Oregon game was knocked off, and it kind of continued a little bit even with me, and I was streaming the game too with some friends and watching it through the television at a friend's house, and that friend of mine doesn't have cable. I don't have cable. I've choose to cut the cord over the last 4 years, and of course, they were able to get those glitches fixed. And by the end, of course, the Sugar Bowl came down to the wire. Very entertaining game, back and forth, back and forth. And of course, Ohio State came back from where they were down 21-6. Just a classic football game. A lot of ebb and flows in that matchup. Of course, the matchup between Nick Saban and of Alabama and Urban Meyer, the head coach of Ohio State. You know the back and forth and the exciting plays and the third string quarterback for Ohio State who came out of nowhere um, just became the big star of the night. But the telecast was great. Very very fluid. It was like like both games. It felt like an NFL playoff games, and they were very entertaining. And I think it's good for college football and great for ESPN. And like I said, Monday night, January 12th, should be I say I'm predicting about almost 30 plus million viewers will tune in to see this game. Now, on to the other TV news. There is a lot of positioning now. Most of all the networks were very quiet for the holidays. You're going to see a lot of shows coming back. Some will start tonight, I should say. Um, Brand new episodes, of course. Now we're done with the new year. The biggest news, of course, will be for NBC. Of course, since they have the Super Bowl this year, shows like the Blacklist are going to go up against the ABC's Thursday night lineup. They're moving in. Of course, the Blacklist will air right after the Super Bowl on NBC. Of course, they get that prime slot. And for those who haven't seen the show, it's a great show. Not me to say, but see for yourself. And of course, it's streaming right now on Netflix. It's gonna be kind of interesting to see how that works. I mean, so far ABC pretty much owns that night with their three shows: Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, of course, and then a show that I'm a big fan of now. Loving the show, of course, How to Get Away with Murder. Love Viola Davis. Um, we'll see how NBC decides to. We all know why they're doing this. Obviously, the success of those shows on ABC, and wanting to sort of take a crack at it and see what happens. And so we'll see how that works out. I'm predicting that maybe Thursdays won't be a good move for NBC putting that show. I think it would have been best placing it back to Mondays and maybe moving State of Affairs to Thursday night because Blacklist already has an audience already on that Monday slot. But we'll see how that works out. And of course, the Oscars, as some of you well know right now, Neil Patrick Harris, of course, from How I Met Your Mother, of course, now formerly How I Met Your Mother, and of course, actor, Broadway host, of course, he will be hosting the Oscars this year, which I think it probably should be a pretty good show. I think Neil has always done a good job. He did the Emmys one year on CBS when CBS hosted the Emmys. I'm not sure, was it 2010 or 11? I'm not sure, but he hosted the Emmys and did a very good job. And of course, you got, Ellen did a marvelous job last year. I think the Oscars wanted to keep it a little more fresh, a little more interesting. I mean, no disrespect to Billy Crystal, but things have changed. TV viewership has changed. You got to go young, you got to go fresh, and I think Neil will do well. Now, some people, Neil Patrick Harris, not everyone's cup of tea, whatever. But I think I think it's going to do well. Just like last year, people didn't feel Ellen did a good job. Some say she did, some say she didn't. I think she did well. Again, Ellen may not be everyone's cup of tea, just like with Chris Rock, just like with Seth MacFarlane. To me, one of the worst Oscar hosts, in my opinion, personally, was David Letterman. I don't think he was that good. I think he brought a lot of his late night stuff to that telecast, and surprisingly, he hasn't been called back to host a show. Good. But I love Letterman. I think he's a genius. What he's done for late night television, I think, has just been amazing. Of course, he'll be ending his run after come May, which I think that's is going to be kind of sad. That he and Leno are not on the air now, but I think they've realized, everything changes. We're using Twitter, we're using Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and sending things out to that different style of technology. I guess for guys like Leno and Letterman, that's not what they're into, and they realize that, hey, the landscape of television is changing a lot. So, and I think in a way they're sort of saying, guys, take care of this institution of late night television, to Kimmel and to Jimmy Fallon, to Stephen Colbert, who's going to be taking over for Letterman, Seth Meyers, of course, you know, um, you know, protect this institution, and the other guy who's going to be taking over for Craig Ferguson, he's a young guy from London. They did a profile on him on the CBS Sunday Morning Show, and again, care for the institution. I mean, just be good to it. Don't insult the audience. Don't mistreat the audience. So that's basically what they're saying. And keep it funny, but respect those who are out there who are watching you guys. In all parts of the country. So I think that's important right there. Of course, right now, like I said, all the networks are going to be back starting tonight. A lot of new episodes here on all the major networks. And of course, with the football playoffs going on this week, and of course, a big change this year also, ESPN is in the rotation of the playoffs, which they did last night, yesterday afternoon, airing the Arizona Carolina game, which was okay. I won't say it was entertaining, but it was okay. I mean, Carolina pretty much, a lot of people kind of rooted for Carolina. But again, the fact that ESPN is involved televising, an NFL playoff game, and people are wondering now, what does this mean? Does this mean that now we will see, God forbid, the Super Bowl? I mean, we've already seen everything else moving towards broadcast to cable. I mean, it started back in 2002 with the NBA deal when they signed with ESPN, ABC, Disney, Turner, where the bulk, if not all of the games, left broadcast when the former package was with NBC and Turner, where most of the games, including all playoff games, the conference finals were all on, over-the-air broadcast television. But I think the TV landscape, again, as I mentioned, has changed, and they realize that the rights fees and what they were charging, what they wanted from the networks just says, no, that's just too much for us. We can't. So we'll back out. And guys, people like ESPN, Turner are now, and now we want to add Fox Sports 1 and NBCSN, of course, the new kids on the block, are really, saying, hey, the networks are not going to air it. We'll air it, yes, but we're going to charge a fee. And you see ESPN's subscriber fees is about, what, $6, which is to some, astronomically high. Turner's about maybe around close to $2 for TNT and TBS. That's just the way the landscape is, because the network said, look, we can't afford this. We'll do a revenue sharing deal, or we'll do a deal that we know we're going to make money, break even, more so money for the advertisers, more so money for our corporate sponsors. And right now, the NFL and the Olympics are probably the two sports where you can make money, lose money, but the rewards coming in are just enormous. So, as I mentioned, a lot of stuff has moved. Of course, we mentioned the college football championship games used to be on network TV. Now they've moved to cable. The NBA, Major League Baseball. We saw most of the league divisional series were on both Turner, TBS, as well as Fox Sports 1. And we have some of the big tennis matches now, outside the French Open, which still airs on network TV, NBC, but mostly everything else is all the big four tournaments: U.S. Open, the French, the Australian, Wimbledon, all on cable now, and even the British Open, another major golf tournament and a lot of history, now is on cable. So I mean, this is just the way of the times, and also people are using this, your laptops, your streaming, using their phones, to stream a lot of these games live, and that's where most of the money also is being made right now as well. So, and because they don't know, there are a lot of people like me who decide to cut the cord and who don't refuse to pay some of the fees and say, hey, we'll watch it online, I'll stream it on my laptop or my smart TV, whatever, and go from there. So, the wave of the future right now, and so it is what it is. So, but anyway, I'm gonna try to do some more videos as best I can. Try to give you all the latest overnight numbers, give you more television news and updates that come in every day. And of course, I'll be looking at a lot of different sites, getting my information from. You, and that's pretty much it. So it's good to be back doing these videos again. And I wish you all a very good day and keep watching TV.